The next 3 floors of the Tower of Trials, 10, 11, and 12, have been out, but I haven't really gotten a chance to take a look at them. So today we will tackle them, starting with floor 10. We have a good old debuff team here with Festival King, Demon Hendrickson, both on attack crit sets. We have a Sario Link on Fez King so that he does hit harder. We have Green Merlin and ult food so that we can get the ult either on turn 2 or turn 3 depending on merges. We have DP in the back for increased damage dealt with crits. We have just high attack artifacts. And the gear on DP and Merlin don't really matter, but they can be HP, defense. So let's jump into it. So the main gimmick with this floor is that they are going to deal an increase in all of their damage types unless they have 2 of either bleed, poison, or shock. 2 out of those 3 debuffs. So we're going to try to rush Fez King's ult, but also maintain 2 of those debuffs. So we got lucky, we got a merge to open with, so I only need to move once, and then I can drop a poison and a shock. Now, if you don't get a merge on the first turn, I would just try to maintain the debuffs, and you will get Fez King's ult a turn later, and that's fine. As you can see, if you've tried this floor without dropping the debuffs first, there is a massive damage difference. They also do increase their attack power by 100%, I believe, every turn. So we do want to clear this floor as fast as we can. And now that we have his ult, I'll drop his ult and a couple more debuffs just to keep those on. Ah, they almost died from that. The poison and shock might kill her at the end of the turn. Or, and the abyss again, I guess. There we go. Alright, so that's floor 10 done. Up next we have floor 11 with Hugo. This is a pretty simple floor. We're just going to be running LV Suicide. LV should be on attack crit damage with a Sario Link, who's also on attack set. We have DP, who is going to be there for his crit damage boosts again. We just have him on HP defense with a high HP Link. Fraudulent is there to get all of our ults, since he's obviously the only way Suicide works. And then we have Red Jericho just there to boost LV's damage output. We have high attack artifact cards again, and then we are going to be running attack food. So let's jump into this one. Now, unlike the previous floor, we are going to be going second, which makes Suicide a little more effective here than it would have been on the first floor. Now, this boss actually has a couple different hidden passives. The first one is that he increases its attack by 50% each turn. All of them, not just Hugo. The second one is that they can't use, or we can't use recovery skills, so no healing. There is no reflect damage, so Godliz ult wouldn't help. And they do take a decrease in damage from ultimate moves. Now, because of that last line, I've done this a couple times. In order to kill the blue minion here, we do need to get at least 3 LV cards. Otherwise, it's going to take 2 turns instead of 1. So with the LV ult, AoE, and then single target, this should rape. Yep, and there we go. That is floor 11. Last up, we have floor 12 with Simon. We are running another Suicide variant. We have the same setup on Fez King as before. This time, our secondary DPS is going to be Margaret. She is just here mostly for this buff, increased damage dealt by 30%. She is also on a attack crit set with a high attack link. Now, if you don't have Margaret, a attack-related buffer works as a decent alternative, such as Easton. And then we have Fraudrin and DP, just like the previous floor, along with high attack artifacts and attack food. Now for their hidden passives, they don't take any damage from Reflect, similar to the last floor. They have a massive damage reduction from humans, so if you were trying to clear with T1 or Bond, that's not going to work out. And they also stack ignites similar to Molascula. Now since we are running Suicide, we are going to finish this off before they can stack a lot of ignites and really do any damage with them, so that's not going to matter a whole lot. Now that it is back to us, we are going to drop the buff, throw out some poison there, and then we are going to drop King's ult. Now the ads aren't going to die until the first tick of Abyss, so if your secondary DPS is a single target ult like Margaret, you're going to have to wait until the next turn to really use it. And there we go. So I've actually run this a couple times. That was actually the first time that they all died with Margaret's buff up. But I guess that'll clear it in one turn.